Well, good morning again. This is Francis with the Texas Roadrunner channel. If you remember, I went on this road trip last September, and I'll put the links down below so you may want to review it. And usually when I go on these road trips, I have a little spin-off videos showing more in depth of the attraction or a state park or whatever it was that I went to. And so this time I give you Enchanted Rock. Now, I didn't collect a lot of content from that last trip because of all the rain and stuff. And so I compiled some other pictures and photos from previous trips. So I hope you enjoy. Welcome to another Tuesday's Travels. This time, we're going to talk about Enchanted Rock State Natural Area. Now, to get there, if you're in the Austin area, take 290 west, or if you're in the San Antonio area, take I-10 west. And then eventually you'll get to Fredericksburg, but you'll want to take Ranch Road 965 north from Fredericksburg to finally find the park. And you'll be greeted with this big huge parking lot, and of course you'll want to go to the HQ and pay your entry fees. It's pretty reasonable. I mean, just $7 a day. Camping's pretty cheap too. So what you'll want to do is grab your various trail maps and park maps. They're free. Oh yes, they have a rock climbing area. More about that later. And they have a really nice camping area. But I also picked up my refrigerator magnet. Now most of us go to hike that big rock, right? But there's other activities, as I mentioned. They do have rock climbing areas. Now, I'll be honest with you, I'm too old for this now. But if you go out there and do some rock climbing, then be careful. Be very, very careful. They also have a nice large pavilion for large group events. Now there's two kinds of camping. One with facilities, which is where we're heading, and of course primitive camping. I like the ones with facilities because right beyond the trees is where the campsite is. So we'll head on in there. And this is pretty typical. You get water, you have electricity, the thing to hold your lantern, a covered roof over a patio table. Then they have these pads, and that's our little tent that we set up, where you can set up your tent. And this is just our little campsite for the night. But you can spread out. They're pretty big. But like I said, just right across the parking lot is the bathroom area. And there's a trail that leads to the summit height, you know, the one way up high. Now there's no RV camping, but I alluded to primitive camping. One was Walnut Springs. And there is another one. Moss Lake Camping Area. That's for you hardcore guys. Once we set up our camp, we took the loop trail. The loop trail goes around the big rock. Well, we kept hiking until began to get dark. Time to hit the camp. The stars are very, very bright out here. No light pollution at all. Well, it was the next morning, the big day, the day to hike that rock. So we took the trail to the summit, or the summit trail. We could have just as easily walked along the road to the summit trail. Once we got there, we noticed parking was getting full. This is a popular place. People love hiking up that rock. And we made it to the gazebo, which had a lot of, like a kiosk that had a lot of information. I highly recommend reading all this information before making that hike. Again, they had these outdoor air conditioners. Boy, were they needed on a hot summer day. Actually, this was morning time. Yes, do not exhaust yourself. Especially in the summertime, it can get rough. And like the info boards are showing, it's a nice hike, but there's a lot to see out there. They even have a little telescope to see where you're going to go. Okay, let's start this hike. Sorry, no pets are allowed. Well, at least dogs. Of course, this morning it kind of rained a bit. Yeah, leave the rocks alone too. There's that gazebo way far in the background. And there's the rock. I'm not sure how far we are, maybe about 1/3. This is just kind of a little panoramic view. I don't know if you can tell, but there's the pavilion, not the pavilion, the gazebo way on down there. I'm trying to zoom in the best I can. I guess those are some buzzards waiting for hikers to die so they can feed upon their carcass. So it looks like we're finally at the top, and I'm just doing like a panoramic view of what's around me. And of course I had to get a selfie in too, right? It was windy. There was a storm coming in. But I did manage to get this shot at one time with the sun rays coming through the clouds. Looks pretty nice. Time to head on down. It is easier going down than up. But if the rocks are wet, just be careful. Looks like that rock is about to slide on down. We are almost home. And then there's the gazebo right up ahead. Looking back. I am tired and I see my truck. Let's find something else to do. So after a hike like that, you can do one of two things. First, you could go to Fredericksburg. It's an old German town. There you can see the Admiral Nimitz Museum and a bunch of other museums.
There's the Fredericksburg Brewery. Really nice restaurant. Good food. Oh, bakeries, you know, gift shops. Just stuff. Touristy stuff, I guess. More restaurants. I think that used to be their old hospital, believe it or not. Oh yeah, for you rock hounds, they have a rock shop there. Or you can go north, continue on Ranch Road 965 to Llano, Texas. It's about the same thing, a lot of tourist shops, restaurants. Llano is also known in Texas for their big, huge truss bridge, and they are the deer capital of Texas.
Hope you enjoyed that video. If you're ever out in the Texas Hill Country, I highly recommend it. As far as climbing that big rock, you probably don't want to do it in the middle of the summer, okay? Hopefully in the fall time or the spring. So until, guys, just be safe out there, and until next time, y'all take care.
I'm Francis Kiefel, and I approved this video.